It's nice to be here at Devasoundz. Nice to see you again. I'm here to ask you a few questions about the new album, Titan. What can you tell me about it?
Yes, this album stands for us as our most mature work till now. We have worked really hard for this album. We started to compose it in April of 2013, and we started the recordings here in Devasoundz studio in September. Parallel with that, I went to Prague for the orchestral recordings, and about December we gave the final material to Logan Mader in order to mix the new album.
This is the first time you're working with him, right?
Yeah, it was the first time that we have chosen an American producer, although it sounds a bit risky, because you know the American producers, they don't have so much experience with orchestras. It's more a European thing, this kind of death black metal with orchestra, and we said why not to give a try to an American producer. And I think Logan Mader, he had a very difficult work to do, but he managed to do an excellent job. We are very pleased with the final result. And
so the result is what you expected?
Of course. It's very powerful, it's very punchy. It has all the elements that we wanted for the Titan. The orchestra is well organized, well mixed. Everything went really, well. Although we had some problems, because when you are not in the studio, it's not so easy.
Yes.
And,
so when you're not with him,
especially for a band for Septicflesh, which has so many difficult things, to deal. It was we had some tough moments, but in general, everything was really well done.
Did you have any instructions for him, or any idea already how to mix it, or do you have experience with that?
Well, we gave him a guide in order to mix the album, but it's not the same. If you are not there from emails, it works, but it's not so effective. And
so you just communicated by email?
By email, yeah.
Okay, then it's
he had a very difficult job. That is the reason it took him around 2-3 months to mix the whole album. But was really great. He has done a great job.
So the whole process took about...
The whole process took 6 months,
6 months.
From the recordings till the
final result.
Yes.
What about the artwork? I saw the special edition.
Yes.
I saw it on the internet, and I wonder what are the best features that come with the special edition.
There are so many special editions that I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is the work of my brother Seth that he has done.
Seth is doing all this part.
Yeah, of course. Always he's doing all the designs for and the artworks for Septicflesh, and both labels, and Prosthetic and Seasonal Mist. They have released many special editions, But the main cover of the Titan is the one with the ship.
With the ship.
Yes.
Okay. I saw a special edition which had a sort of face on it.
Yes, I think this is
that's another one. Yeah.
This is the special edition of Seasonal Mist, which has also live recordings from the one that we did with Mona Marth and Ezra Dang in Toulouse, in France, and some other bones, There are so many, but that I don't know what's going on.
I didn't know what to choose. Actually, it was difficult, so I chose the one which seemed the most complete.
This is good for, for
it's
band,
a bonus, I think.
Of course.
There are many interesting things, posters and...
Especially now when the music business, is going down, and you cannot invest on something that is simple. You need to have many different editions.
Yeah, you need to also be to distinguish yourself through the artwork.
Of course.
Right. Okay, you said that Seth is doing the whole graphic part. So each of you has a different role in the band. Can you tell me a bit about that?
First of all, we work as a team. You know, each of us compose. You know, we are not.
Yes.
We don't have, as example, Fotis only to play drums or my brother to design. Each of us has his own role. As example, I am responsible for all the orchestral things.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, and I compose also some. You know, I don't orchestrate. I compose also music. Seth also composes and he's doing the artwork. Sotiris also composes and he's doing the lyrical part.
So he's doing the lyrical part?
Yes, always, as always, since the beginning of the band. And Fotis also composes and he is more in the rhythmical part. You know?
The backbone.
The backbone of the band. That works really well for Septicflesh. You know, although you can say that too many people involved, this can create a mess or many difficulties. But for us, it really works all these years.
You need to help each other because you can't do everything, or you know,
that is the reason the composition process is not so big. You know, it is the same like the recordings, because we are so many brains to compose, and we know how it works, and we know each other. We know how it will go, and of course we have meetings in the beginning to say the main template, which path we will follow, and
so is the idea for the main template or the basic idea. Do you brainstorm it, or does Sotiris, for example, come up with the theme because he's doing the lyrics, or are the lyrics added afterwards?
Of course, he has
an idea
in mind the lyrical part, but firstly we go with the music, and parallel with that, Sotiris.
And then you develop a theme and lyrics.
Sometimes I bring orchestral part, as example, like Order of Dracul.
Yes.
Was mainly in the orchestra. It was based in the orchestra part, and the Sotiris added the guitar parts. And when he heard the music, he said, "I have an idea to describe this song with Order of Dracul."
So he came up with the idea? It wasn't you? I saw that you are a big fan of...
No. We are all fans of Dracula, but Sotiris was the main, you know.
So he came up with this concept. Are the songs different in theme from each other, or is there a concept behind?
No, there is not a concept album. There are many themes that have been in this album, but there are songs that are being connected, you know, like Titan, Prometheus, and Prototype, this kind of song.
So a few songs are connected with each other. So how come you chose the name Titan?
Yes, it's
a very strong name.
Yes, this was the idea. My brother chose this name Titan because he, you know, he liked the sound of it, you know, and for many people can say many things about Titan, you know. For us, this album represents, you know, a big giant that walks and the earth.
I thought about the same thing.
Yes,
that's why.
And for us, these album stands are the most.
So far, you think this is the most
gigantic album release for us.
And did you invest more in this album, more work, more?
The same as usual, you know, the same as usual, the same as usual. But we tried, you know, to don't copy the great mass, because we are not a repetitive band, you know, always try to discover new things. And for a band it would be a mistake in general to repeat the previous album. And for us the Great Mass was a really difficult opponent, you know, because it was the most successful release for us, you know. But I'm pretty sure that Titan will overpass it.
I think
you know, we say the same.
Better and better.
Yeah, we saw Communion how we will overpass communion, but we overpass it with the great
So
mass.
each time you try to do something better.
This is good for a band because we invest a lot to our creation, you know. We are really focused on that, and I think that we are doing a qualitative work.
Yeah. Okay. About the orchestral parts, you have a lot of experience with writing this kind of music. So, what inspires you when you write the music?
You know, it can be everything. You know, I can hear sounds from everywhere, and I can imagine percussion stuff or woodwind section or strings. But I have to follow, of course, the template that we say. You know, it has to be aggressive, dark.
It's really dark, I think. The parts that I've heard.
It's the most dark release that we ever done, you know. And I follow this also to my orchestral writing. Even in my orchestration, you know, has to be very low texture, low timbre, and this kind of stuff. And we are really lucky that we have an amazing orchestra to perform our music. You know, you were there, you saw.
I was there and I saw how professional they are. It was the first time for them that they saw the scores, right?
Yeah. So they can have only 4 takes and they can record everything, you know. They are very experienced. They record every day. Video games, films, and this kind of stuff. And with us, it was the 3rd time with Septicflesh, but I have also experience with Chaostar and some other projects that I'm doing. Always I use this orchestra for the majority of my project, you know.
So you get along very well.
Because I know very well, really well, Petro, the contractor. I know how the orchestra works, the abilities, the possibilities. You know, I can do whatever I want. You know, there are no limits.
So that's an important thing when you compose the music, right? To know what the orchestra can do.
Of course. If the orchestra are amateur, you know, you have to go with their needs, you know. But with this orchestra, you can do whatever you want, and it's, you know, they can play anything, you know, they can play everything.
What about the choir parts? How did that go?
Yes, unfortunately, I was not with the children choir in Prague because, you know, they couldn't.
So it was from a distance.
Yes, and for the first time we used children choir. We used a solo boy soprano with the vampire from Nazareth for the Great Mass. But now I wanted to use the children choir in order to give this spooky, dark, ironic color in our music, and it worked really well also. I record also here an amazing choir from Athens, you know.
So there will be, besides the children's choir, another choir from Athens.
The normal choir, you know. And we had a big, you know, always we expand the number of our musicians, you know. We have bigger orchestra, bigger choir, and this kind of stuff.
So it gets more complex all the time.
More epic and more...
and this time, how is it going to be... How did it work to combine the orchestral parts with the metal parts?
Yes.
What is the prevailing?
I think this is the most difficult part of our composition process, you know, especially when I compose the orchestral parts, you know. Sotiris then takes the guitar and he has to invent some things in order to, you know, to don't be also supportive.
So it's not exactly the same, it doesn't follow the same path as
you can see that he has done a great job in the guitar parts, Order of Dracul, you know, which is based all in the orchestra, and he had a difficult time, you know, because it is, you have also to let the orchestra to breathe, because we have this problem always with the frequencies. This is very technical stuff from recordings and for studio things, and we need to be, to blend really well these two parts, and we always face some difficulties, but we always overcome this.
So there isn't any leading element, for example, the orchestra part or the metal part.
Of course, Order of Dracul, the leader is the orchestra. You know,
okay.
as
So
example, yes, as an example, Seth's song Prometheus. Again, the orchestra there plays a big part, although it's his song. But you know, the orchestra, you know, plays big role for Septicflesh. We have found the balance.
That's also a challenging thing to play live. Have you ever thought about playing with an orchestra?
You know, this task is really difficult because you need to be very organized. You need to have a lot of money.
Yes.
Because it is not only to rent a big place. You have to rent also the orchestra, you know, and this needs practice.
If you could do it, if you could do this, then I suppose it would be really difficult to get the orchestra of Prague.
Yes.
So you need some other orchestra.
I really don't know, and we don't want, you know, to do something really rough and amateur. We want to make something really special.
Yeah, because it was already done before.
Yes, and we don't want to, how to say, the orchestra stands really beside Septicflesh, you know, they play so big role for us. It will be not a good idea to use an ensemble, you know, a small ensemble. You need to have this powerful orchestral sound. We shall see, you never know, but at the moment it's difficult, especially in Greece, with all this crisis and this kind of stuff, you know.
So you think it's more difficult to do it in Greece than in another country?
I think it's more feasible to do it in France.
Yeah, where you have the biggest support.
Yeah, it's the label there, you know.
So speaking of support, you think that the best support comes from France? What about the other countries? What's the response?
I think this might change now, because I think the biggest support can come now from US. You know, but France.
You've been touring in the US.
Yes,
a couple of times, right?
And we are going to tour again immediately with a new release. You know, we are going on 24th of June in US to make a tour with Flesh God Apocalypse, Necronomicon, and
you get along very well with Flesh God Apocalypse.
We are going also now in a few days in Australia with them. And as I said, we are going to make a US tour with Flesh God, Necronomicon, and the Hour of Penance.
Yes, I know them.
Yes.
What about an European tour?
At the moment, there are not any plans for it, you know.
So nothing for this year?
No. We have, you know, we have a show in Romania in 24th of May.
Yes.
In Brasov. We have a show in June in Metal Gate Festival as headliners in Prague, in Czech Republic. Then we have Hellfest, and then we have the US tour, US-Canada tour.
So for now, just a few dates in Europe.
Yes.
Okay.
But definitely we will go for the European tours next year. Some shows.
That would be great. What about playing in Romania? How does it feel? What do you think about the public in Romania?
You know, we played there less than a year. You know, in the Rockstage Extreme Festival. It's always, you know, pleasure to play there. We have a big, strong fan base there, and it's always nice to be in Romania. You know, we are eager to go again. You know? And probably to play the Order of Dracul. You know.
What about that? I think the people would love to hear.
We will try, you know. We'll try, but the problem is now the Australian tour. We might not have so much time to rehearse it.
Okay, because you're going on tour, and then when you're back...
Yes, immediately after Australia, we are going in Romania. And you know, all this time we were very busy with the album. Seth was he was working extensively with the artworks. I had the show with Chaostar last Friday, you know. There's no time to rehearse.
So you don't have time because of touring? And
yeah, the main rehearsals will start after Romania. For, you know, in order to promote the new album with the Hellfest maybe in Czech Republic and of course
So,
the US too.
So the following dates you will play more songs from Titan.
Yes,
Right?
especially in US we will play more songs. We have 1 month to rehearse, you know.
How do you usually organize this, the rehearsals? How does it work? How long do you need?
We need about 15-20 rehearsals, maybe less, 10-15 as example, you know, in order to be well prepared and focus on the new material. We are experienced now, you know.
Yes.
We don't need so much time. We are in good level of musicianship, and we are as a team many years. This works well, and the rehearsals
Take place right
take
here.
place, you know, inside in the main booth.
What about the studio? You and Fotis own it?
Yes, me and Fotis, and we have this luxury, you know, to have our own studio. We can stay as long as we want here. We can experiment to search for new things, for new sounds, and this kind of stuff. It is always, you know, a positive thing to have your own studio.
Yes.
And
It's
for us,
lucky.
we are lucky, yes,
Yeah.
because we give all the money to the orchestra.
Yeah, you have
You
more
know?
money for the orchestra.
Yes.
So the main recordings, all the recordings besides the orchestra take place here.
Here, yeah, yes.
And do you do any pre-work on?
Yes, we have the pre-production, but not
Pre-production.
in the studio. Each of us has his own studio, and we exchange some ideas and demos through emails. We work like that, you know.
I see. Okay. So we're looking forward to see you in Romania. I think people will be happy to see you play there again.
Of course, of course.
Probably they will expect to see Order of Dracul played
Yes.
live, especially since you'll be playing it very close to the infamous Dracula castle. You know, it's not the actual castle.
Yeah, no. I would say to the promoters, you know, if you have chance to go and see the castle, I don't know, is it far from there?
No, it's not so far. It's
We didn't have time last time. I hope
like 20 kilometers
Ah,
or
it's
something
near,
like
it's
that.
near, it's near.
30 from Russia.
we might do it. We might do it.
You have to.
Yes.
So you have you have
The-
more inspiration when you play Order of Dracula.
And each of us, you know, as I told you, we are big fans of Tepes, Vlad Tepes.
Okay, that will be a great opportunity.
How you call it? Vlad Tepes?
Cepes.
Cepes, eh?
Cepes.
Cepes, Vlad Cepes. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Do you have anything to say to the Romanian fans?
Yes. What can I say?
Besides that, you're waiting for as many people as possible, I guess.
Of course, you know, as I said, it is always a pleasure to be there, and I hope we manage. We will try to rehearse to play the Order of Dracul. We'll do our best, you know.
Yeah.
But
That
I
would be a
can't
nice
promise
surprise.
anything, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
And good luck with the touring.
thank you very much.